Thank you very much. Welcome to the Naples Mac User Group meeting today, Wednesday, May 5th. We welcome all of our members from all over the world and throughout the United States and Canada. Our Naples Mac User Group meetings are each and every Wednesday until June 30th, and then we resume after 2 months off, September 1st, and they're always at the same time from 11:30 a.m. to 12:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time or regular time. You must be a member of the Naples Mug or an invited guest. And I wanted to mention that if any of you have people that you'd like to invite to the meeting, one or two meetings, and they could be potential members, just let Eckert know, and we'll make arrangements to have them invited. Our Zoom meetings are pretty much controlled. Totally controlled as far as who gets in and who doesn't. And that's for security reasons with Zoom. We have 42 weekly meetings a year. We want to make a special welcome today to a special guest from the Tucson Macintosh User Group. The president, Bob Wood. Are you here with us, Bob? Well, anyway, when he arrives, we welcome him. Not here yet, I guess. He's going to be with us. I did some analysis this morning, and I thought it was just terrific. We have members from all of these user groups that I'm showing you here, from Australia, Suffolk, England, St. Augustine, Florida, Dallas, suburban Chicago, Saginaw, Des Moines, Mackinac, which is the Midland group. So we welcome a lot of our members from other Mac user groups. And so if any of our members have friends in other Mac user groups around the country, let them know that we have these 42 meetings a year and they're welcome to join our group also. I'd like to mention again, please visit our new website. We're really proud of it. Gina Cox and Michael Kowalniak have done an outstanding job in putting this together with the help of many of our board members. So please take a look at the website. This happens to be the calendar, and the calendar goes right now all the way through December 2021 with a list of all the meetings. All the meetings are pretty much planned through then. There are always changes that take place, but take a look at the website, all the information about the group, the videos, the calendars, everything that goes on is really pretty much shown on the website. I just wanted to review a few of our meetings going forward. On Wednesday, May 19th, Bob Kennedy, who's been a member of Naples Mac User Group since 2003, has been on the board for many, many terms. He's done a lot, brought a lot of new members over the years from camera clubs throughout Naples to the Mac User Group of Naples, an award-winning photographer, and Bob will be reviewing Process Your Photos for Impact. This is going to be another one of Bob's really great, interesting meetings, so don't miss this. On the meeting next week, on the 12th, Carrie Rigo, who has spoken to the group over the years, probably 3 or 4 times, and she's going to talk about Let's Get Social, and she's going to talk about social media platforms for seniors, primarily Facebook and YouTube. And of course, today we have with us our own member, our board member, our class director, and the woman of many hats, Chita Hunter. It's all yours.
All right, thank you, George. Yes, I wear many hats. All right, so let me share my screen.
I actually never see you wear a hat. Do you wear hats?
When I'm playing tennis, I wear hats.
Okay.
All right, so I'm going to take over and I'm going to share my desktop. And all right, can everyone see my desktop?
Yes.
All right, thank you very much. Appreciate that. All right, so let me start here. I want to again welcome you to the Q&A today. And if you have questions, please put them in the chat and either I will get to them or someone else will answer the questions for you. We look forward to a very lively interactive meeting today. And let's get started. My first question, I do a lot of surfing online, reading and research. Is there a way to save that information? And this question came about from Michael Sales, and it was either during another presentation or during a class. And he could not figure out how to save all of his information because he does a lot of research and reading on the web. I couldn't get to that question at the time because I do believe it was during a class and I don't want to hog up someone else's class time. So I mentioned that, yes, there is a easy way to do this, and I would show it at one of my Q&As. So this is what I'm going to show you. And let me pull up Safari and drag this over. All right. So I do, as expected, I do a lot of research and surfing online as well. You're basically looking at my start page, and I basically keep my start page bare. I don't have anything on it. Okay, across the top here, this is the favorites bar for Safari. And instead of text, what you see are emojis. I put emojis in my favorites bar to keep down the, not necessarily the clutter, but because I have so much here. I don't use the regular bookmarks area. I just use the favorites because it allows me very quick access to some of the information that I want. And the favorites bar, if you open up click on the icon here for the sidebar, the favorites bar is situated here. All right, can someone turn their mic off, please? Appreciate it, thank you. All right, so the favorites bar is located here, and you can put practically almost anything that you want in the favorites bar. So let me start with how I do this. Okay, thank you. In the favorites bar, you can either put a bookmark or a folder. I put everything in folders and then I organize by those folders. So for example, here's my tabs. This is where I hold all of the information where I search and research and want to save and want to get back to it later. So I have tabs, I have folders, and I have information in those folders. So how do I do this? With the tabs bar available or open, you can either right click to create a folder, or you can open the sidebar and you can click here on the favorites text and you can create a new folder. So I'm just going to create a new folder here, and I'm going to name this folder NMUG Demo. Once I name it NMUG Demo, you'll actually see that it's populated right here because this is the favorites bar and this is the favorites bar. I'm going to take this folder and actually drag it all the way up. So you can reposition this anywhere you want along the favorites bar, interspersed between anything else you have there. So I've moved it all the way over here. All right. So how do I get information in this favorites bar? So let's type in, let's go to and I'm going to type in Naples. And let's open up the Naples site. And I'm going to add another tab so that I can, oh, actually, I wanted to do this in a new window. Hold on. Let me open up File, New Window. I do this in a new window because I have all of my other tabs here and it's going to get cluttered. So we're going to start it this way. So let's open this back up so you can see everything still looks the same because I'm basically changing the UI of Safari and not just a bookmark. So let's go back to Naples. And I'm going to add a new tab. I can do that by going to File. I can select New Window or New Tab. I'm going to add a new tab. So it just brings up another tab. It starts wherever I have my start page set up. And I'm going to type in a website that we don't visit a lot. It's called apple.com. So here I have Naples and I have Apple, and I can add as many tabs as I want. And sometimes I've honestly added like 19 tabs at one time. So I have these two tabs open and they're showing information that I want. And let's say I want to come back to a certain location. If I click on, let's say that's the new purple iPhone. If I click on that and I want to come back to this particular page because this is the information that I want to read. And I know you're getting all of these admits. And if there's a particular location here on the web page that I want to read, oh, actually, let's go to classes and let's go to classes here. All right, and we're showing all of our instructors. So I want to come back and read this information. And again, you can have as many tabs as you want to add. Now, if I just say add bookmarks, it will populate the bookmarks, but not in the favorites tab. What I want to do, I want to have a little control over how I structure this. So I go to the bookmarks menu and I select add a bookmark for these two tabs. Now, it brings up this dialog and it's asking me, where do you want to put this information and what do you want to name it? So I name it, I'm going to name it 05/05/2001. That's how I remember things. I'm going to name this tabs. And also, where do you want to save it? I want to save it to my new NMUG demo folder. So now when I choose add, it's here. Here's the tab, and here are the two websites that I've saved here. And let's do this. I'm going to create a new window and give you a little test on this. My new demo folder, my tabs, I want to open all of this information. So let's say I want to go back and to any information. It could be information here. And I'm going to actually do a test of both of them. So demo here, tabs, and select open in new tabs. So now it's opened all of those. And let me open up a new window and show you my existing tabs. Let's say 2021 tabs, and I want to open this. I'm going to wait for this to close because I know you can see it. Oh, okay, thank you. All right, so let's say I want to open up these tabs. I select the folder. I can now come back and open up all of the tabs. So anytime I want to save something and get back to it, I can easily by creating a folder in the tabs window and saving those tabs instead of saving them just as bookmarks. Any questions on that so far?
Yes, I have a question.
Go ahead.
Okay. Let's see. So I'm in my favorites. Thank you so much for the explanation so far. And I've created a tab. I've created a folder within my favorites. How can I position that folder where I want it to be? Right now, it's underneath other folders, and if they're open, I have to scroll down to find this new folder I've created, which is one that's important to me. When I tried to reposition it to make it higher up in the favorites menu, I was unable to do so. Is that just a limitation of?
No.
Go ahead.
No. If you just hold your mouse button down on it, you can move it. You see how I'm moving it? You just,
Yeah.
I'm holding my mouse button down on the folder and just
Mhm.
placing it anywhere I want. Now, do you see
Okay.
the you see the lines that are appearing? That's indicating when you release where it's going to drop. So you
Yeah.
want to be careful in that respect. And yes, it is touchy. You have to click in a certain location.
So right
Yes.
now, just to, if I may, so
Sure, go ahead.
yeah, so right now I'm on MacBook Pro,
Mhm.
and I tried holding command click. Is that what you're suggesting? Nothing's happening. And then control click. I do control click. It shows folder
You don't-
contents.
You
Open
don't
door.
have to, yeah, you don't have to hold any modification key. Just hold your mouse button down on the folder that you've created, or even if it's a bookmark, but on the icon itself, not the text. And then you can move it around.
Okay, not happening, but I've taken enough time. Thanks.
That's okay, because
It's
I did this specifically for you because I
Okay.
knew this is something you wanted, but and others respond if you think so. Is this really useful when you are searching the web and trying to save information?
Absolutely, absolutely. Because you can
Okay.
create folders within folders, right?
Absolutely. Well, yes, you can see here because my tabs is a folder and I have folders inside the
Yeah,
folders
yeah,
that you can see date all the way back to 2013.
yeah. So it's a
And
good thing.
it's a really good thing. And it basically, like, I don't use the reading list because the reading list is just one long scroll and you can't structure it. You can't find anything with that. And if I did not use the favorites bar, all of the bookmarks would just populate up in this area and I would still have to scroll. By saving everything in the favorites, I can create my folders, create my tabs. I can delete them if I want. I can look back on them. I can see which ones are no longer valid. It's, to me, a much neater and structured way to find and search for the information that I
Oh,
want.
yeah, I'm sure that others have this too. I mean, there's certain things that one drills down on, and you want to be able to get at whatever
Yes.
something you looked at 2 years ago. I know I
Yes.
had it. Where is it?
Yes.
And this will help. So thank you.
You are quite welcome, Michael. All right, there's one more thing that I want to add here because as you can see, and I need to turn this on to do this. I tell you, Mouse Pro sometimes does not like to behave. All right, and so I'm not going to use you. I'll fix that. As you see, I have these emojis. So how do you get these emojis in here instead of using text? Because text gets long and after a while, you'll see a bunch of arrows populate here, which will take you to all the other tabs that you have available and open. But this is more concise and easy. And as you can see, I'm sort of an organized, crazy person. So in order to get the emojis, instead of having text, what I do, and actually I need to open up systems preferences to show you how I got to this point. All right, and let's bring you over. Hold on. All right, I'm in systems preferences, and from systems preferences, if you go to the keyboard preferences, there are two checkboxes that I enable so that I can see information. So the information I'm talking about is up here. I have this icon that allows me, first of all, to see an extended keyboard. But what I want to focus on is you can tell macOS to show you the emojis and symbols viewer, and you can tell it to show you the keyboard viewer. So the two checkboxes that you need to enable are under the keyboard pane. You want to select this one, show keyboard and emoji viewer in menu bar. And there's one more. You want to also click on input sources and you want to select show input menu in menu bar. So that helps with the keyboard when you want to see what keys are mapped to what symbol, letter, whatever. So I have those two selected or enabled. Let me put that back. And with that, that brings up this tab. And I'm going to select Show Emojis and Keyboard. And of course, it's showing up on my other screen. So this is what populates. And it stays to the front. So you can click on, and then it just made a liar out of me. Okay, come back. There you go. So yeah, okay, hold on. I did something I wasn't intending on doing. Let me reduce the size of the screen. And let me hide you. So I can show you how to do this. And let's hide you. And let's hide you. Okay, now let's bring this back and place it over here so it won't go away. All right, so I'm going to click inside. Come on. Okay, well, we're getting something we don't normally get. I want to right click. There you go, and rename. Sorry about that. All right, so now this thing keeps hiding on me. It could be because of Zoom. This doesn't normally happen this way. So let me see if I can pull this off. The text is selected in NMUG Demo, and I'm going to come over to the right-hand side of my screen to the character viewer, and I'm going to double click. And I think this is because of Zoom, because it doesn't normally disappear. Yeah, this is a Zoom thing. But either way, to show you what's done, I open up the character viewer. The text is selected here, and I'm able to double click on any emoji that I want, and it will populate. That's how I got all of these guys. So if you select any category, or even just scroll up or scroll down, you can double click and select any emoji you want. I usually pick something that is related to whatever the folder is going to, the whole contents that the folder is going to hold. So that's how you get an emoji. And I'm sorry, I can't demo it, but normally it doesn't disappear like this. So it's usually a Zoom thing. All right, any other questions on this? You're welcome, Jean. And okay, thank you, Ferris. Okay, no, all right. All right, any other comments or questions for this?
Yeah, how do you get your cursor to glow like you do with the thing turned off?
You mean that?
Yes.
Oh, this is a app that I use called Mouse Pose. This is this app right here, Mouse Pose.
Thank you.
Yeah, it allows you to spotlight things, and it also allows you to show the keystrokes if you need to. So it's pretty cool. And I also have one that I really like that's not working, and that's Pro Mouse. But Pro Mouse really gives me challenges sometimes. All right, any other questions before I move on? Okay, thanks for having trouble. Yes, you're welcome,
Yes.
Bill.
I have a question, Chita.
Go ahead, Edgar.
You know, you can get the emojis by clicking on Control Command Space bar. Would that, in your particular case, when you're trying to add emojis to your favorite bar, would that also work, or do you have to go to the way of making arrangements and preferences?
It just worked. Thank you, Eckert.
Yes. Okay.
I use Control Command Space bar to bring up my character viewer. I double clicked, and it brought up this Diagnostics iPad. Let them in because they are someone that we know. All right. So
Kathy Costello.
yeah. Okay. So that's how you add it. You just double click on the text where you want to place it, and it adds the emoji. And let's press return to cast that in stone. And let me do one thing here. I need to, because I want you to see this up close. I'm going to quit Pro Mouse and bring Pro Mouse back. Pro Mouse wants me to always quit it before I can use it. So now when I bring this up, there you go. So now you see the little crying, happy, laughing face there, and it's also here. Okay, hi, Don. There you go. All right, so Michael, please let me know how that works for you and enjoy it, because this is something that I've used, as you've seen, at least since 2013, and it is very, very useful for me and hopefully useful for all of you. All right. All right, I'm going to close this or move it, and let's move on. And let's close you. And let's go back to Keynote. And could someone turn off their mics, please? All right, my next question. How to make the iPhone flash, even if the iPhone doesn't think it's needed. For example, bright background behind the subject. That's a really easy one, Don. You just turn on the flash itself. So let's hide here. And let me bring my phone over. There we go. All right, so I'm going to open up the camera app. And in the camera app, right here, you have the flash button. Oops, if I click on the flash button, then you get the, hi Barbara, then you get the buttons where you can set it to auto, which is set to auto right now. You can turn it on, you can turn it off. So I'm going to turn it on. And once I turn it on, you see this icon right here. And it indicates that the flash is on, and the flash will flash every time you click on your home button to take a picture. Now, I'm on an iPhone 7 Plus, so your locations may vary, they may not, but that is a very easy one to work with. Don, are you here?
I'm here, thank you. So even if I took a picture of the sun, it would still flash.
I would imagine so.
Okay.
I've never tried that one, but if it's a backlit subject, yes, it will flash.
Thank you.
You're quite welcome. And thank you for the question. Now, I want to say that I really thank all of you who sent in questions. Obviously, we can't get to all of them that come in, but we do our best. And like the question with Michael actually was months ago, but I wanted to make sure that I got to it because I thought it was such a really interesting and valid use for everyone.
Chita, it's Mitch.
Yes. Hi,
I
Mitch.
just wanted to mention on my iPhone 12, that menu at the top of yours comes up at the bottom,
Okay, thank you, Mitch.
right above the the photo thing at the bottom.
Okay, thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Quick question, Chita.
Yes,
You
Alan.
have to turn that flash back off again, or when you reopen camera some other time, will it go back to the default of auto?
No, it will stay on.
Okay.
So you have to come back in and actually turn it off. All right. Okay. All right. Let's move on to the next question, and let's see if I can hide you. Okay. Next question. On my iPhone, if I'm looking at some mail and there's an advertisement I want to look at, I'll go to the advertisement and there is no way to return. Yes, there is. And usually it pops up for you. So let's hide this and see if I can show you. And of course, there we go. So I'm going to open up my mail and I'm going to select something that I know has an ad in it. And that would be a Better Health email. So what you do, if you click on any link, it's going to go out to that advertisement or whatever and let you see that. Now, typically, I always see a button like this. This one says mail and it's pointing back. So it knows that I was in the mail program and click on a link and it took me out of mail and brought me here. And if I want to get back to mail, it then, if I click this button, it takes me back to that mail. And that happens with almost any app that I use. I could be playing a game, and if my security camera goes off, I can click the notification. It takes me to the security camera, but up in the upper left-hand corner, like you saw here, it will read whatever that game was I was playing so that I can then go back. All right. So Bill, does that answer your question? Bill Nice? Thought I saw you come in.
Sorry, I'm trying to open my mic with my finger on the on my computer. It doesn't work.
No, it doesn't.
Yes,
Go ahead.
I see that at times, and at other times I don't see that. And it's when I don't see that, I find it frustrating. I can't go back.
Mhm.
As well as if I do a search with Siri on the computer, I'll get a list of situations to look at. And if I open one, I can't go back to the others.
Okay, you know, in your question, you left that part out, that
I
it
think-
was a Siri.
I'm
search.
sorry. Yeah.
Okay.
One is an iPad and one is a computer.
Okay. All right. Well, I answered the question as I assumed it was a browser question. So I'm going to answer it that way. I don't know if it's a Siri search, if you can tell it to go back.
Okay.
If anyone has had that experience, let us know while I go to my next question, which Bill left information out of. Thank you, Bill. Appreciate that. All right. All right. Just kidding, Bill. I hope you know that.
Yeah.
All right. All right. So I'm going to hide. Go ahead and hide this. And our next question. We'll get to in a second, Bill. How do you select which album the Photos Apple Watch face draws from? Well, you actually tell it where you want it to draw that information from, that photo from. And it's best to do that on your iPhone in the Watch app, because it's just best and easier to do it that way. So let's hide this, and I'm going to show you how to do that. Okay, let's close this. I'm going to open up my Apple Watch, click on the Watch app, and you have the My Faces section. Now, I'm going to assume that you don't have the Photos face up at all, even though I have two. I have one here and one there. Even though I have two, I'm going to go ahead and add a brand new one. And I'm going to do that by clicking on the Face Gallery button down here at the bottom. And it brings up the list of faces that you can select. So I'm going to scroll to Photos here and tap on that. And it brings up the settings that you can, enable. So if I wanted the photo to take on like a certain color tone, I can click on any of these. And if you notice while I'm scrolling, there's like quite a few that you can choose from. So I wanted to have a blue tone, but this was such a beautiful location. I wanted to bask in all of its color. Now, the description: a new photo appears every time you raise your wrist or tap the display. You can see photos from an album, memory, or your library. You can also customize your photos with different colors. All right, cool. So as I scroll up, you have different categories that you can set. You can actually tell it what album you want it to choose from. You can tell it to select photos, or you can select dynamic. I'm not going to click photos because you know what happens when you click photos. All of your photos show up. So I'm going to tap dynamic to show you a picture of me and my dad when we were bowling. Love you, Daddy. And if you choose dynamic, it sort of hides the album, but I'm going to click back on album, and I can select what album I want to choose from. So if I select favorites, it shows all of the albums that I have set up in my favorites. I'm going to choose Adobe Capture. That's one that I was just making shapes from. And then I'm going to choose done. And you'll see that it is now showing that photo from the Adobe Capture. And if I continue to scroll down, you can select what time and position you want it to be. You can select what complications. I'm not going to go into those at this moment. Now, once you're done with all of the settings that you want to enable or that you want desired, I want to click add. And if you saw that, it went straight down to the My Watch icon. Now, if I go back to my watch, that face has been added. And it's on my watch and also on the phone. So if I just want to edit it again from my phone at another time in the future, I just tap on it again. It brings up all the settings again and I can change it. And also notice here, I have my Series 6 watch on. Depending on what watch you have, like I have two, I have a 5 and a 6, it will show the watch that you have on your wrist, the one that's open at the time. So that's how you do that. Any questions, Victoria? Does that help you? Are you here? Victoria, yeah, Victoria.
I'm here, but I didn't ask that question.
Are you, how do you, yes, you did. Okay, I have the question from you a couple of weeks ago, but yeah,
Well,
you
that's
did.
why.
But,
Sorry
okay,
about that.
that's quite all right. But was that helpful to you, to anyone?
It was.
Yes,
Thank you.
yes.
All right, all right.
Absolutely.
You're welcome. Thank you. Okay, now let's move on to the question that I thought Bill asked, but Bill didn't ask that question. Bill asked another question. And let's get back here. All right, when I go from one YouTube program to another, viewing a full page, there is no way to go back to the previous one. And let's do this. Let's hide this. Oh, did the wrong thing. Let's hide you and bring up a web page. And let's go here. And hold on, I'm trying to move a web page over. All right. So let's say here's a web page. And this is a video that I created on taming your inbox, organizing your inbox. And if you actually want to go and see it, I also have chapter markers so that you can particularly look at the section that you're interested in. But the idea here, I'm going to skip this ad. And let's say you're viewing a video on YouTube. I'm going to pause it and go all the way to the end, but I'm going to look at it in full screen view. And I want to take it all the way to the end. Okay. And still too much time. There we go. All right, and Mitch is clapping for me at the end of that video. Thank you, Mitch. And we got commentary. Thank you for all of your wonderful comments. And I'm waiting for this video to get to the part where it wants to play other videos. And also notice that it's in full screen and you don't see any of the navigation arrows. So now I'm going to play this one. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to take this. I don't know whose this is. I don't want to see it. And I'm going to take it all the way to the end. And I'm going to wait for it to show me. There you go. And let's say I'm going to choose play now. All right. So at this point, I'm going to stop because we've watched 3 videos, mine and 2 others. And I want to go back. I'm in full screen. I want to go back, but there are no navigation bars or icons for me to click on. On your keyboard, if you press Command left bracket, that is the bracket directly to the right of the P key on the keyboard, it will take you back to the previous video or web page that you were on. And once this ad is over, you'll see my video again. If I press Command and the right bracket, that takes you forward. So it will take me back to and through the other videos that I saw. So that is an easy way to navigate on your web browser when you don't see the navigation keys. If you're watching things in full screen and you know that you've watched like 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 videos, but you don't want to get out of full screen. All right. Okay, so
Sheeta,
yes,
would that work for Bill in mail?
no,
Okay,
not in mail, no.
that keystroke.
Um,
Okay.
no, he's on his iPhone in mail.
Okay.
Now let me say this. Let me exit out of full screen. And let's hide this and go back to Keynote. Whatever program you see these navigation icons in, that command, those command keystrokes will work. Command back, left bracket, command right bracket will take you forward, back and forth. It works in, if you have a lot of windows open in Finder and you have tabs, if you're in a browser. So try it and see. It won't remove anything. It'll just navigate you back or forward. All right. So hopefully that will be helpful.
Yes, thank you, Chita.
Chita,
Chita.
you're very welcome, Bill. All right, let's move on to the next question. I've been asked to make a short movie of about 10 to 12 minutes in duration that will play at a memorial celebration. Should have been do. What do you recommend to be the best way of making the movie to play in a continuous loop for the duration of the event? That is very, very easy to do. Before I take you into QuickTime to show you, looping is usually dependent on the interface of the app that you're playing the video in. And usually most apps have that now, but it's not actually the movie, it's in the app that you have playing the movie. So I'm going to hide here. I'm going to open up this QuickTime movie here. And of course it opens on my other screen. And let's bring it over and enlarge it. And you have you are seeing a sycamore tree that I had cut down in my front yard. And the gentleman is up there cutting it down and boom. And those are nasty trees. So hopefully you won't have one, but it's set to loop. So how did I do that? You go to the view menu and you just click right here to loop it. So now it's loop is off. So it should just play. Let me play that again. I did that with my space bar to play it. And it should just stop. Okay, so that's without loop. View, set it to loop, play, and it continues on. Cool. So that one was very easy. Thank you for that question. Any questions on QuickTime and looping? All right, then let's move on. Okay. The question was, can you show the use of tabs? I'm at a complete loss here. How can I view multiple windows at once without one covering over the others? The tabs feature was created in order to help you view your documents or your web pages and reduce visual clutter. So I'm going to show you how you can turn on tabs, turn them off, and if you want to have your documents or your Finder windows show up in actual windows instead of tabs, you can. So let me hide this. And let's open up text edit. Okay, text edit opens over here. Okay, let's see if I can pull you out of here. Hold on, something. There you go. All right, so I'm bringing over text edit and I have about 1, 2, 3. I have 4 tabs open. So how do you, first of all, how do you get this to show up, the settings to show tabs instead of windows in the first place? You set that up several locations. For the Finder, if you go to, if you go to Finder and set up, select Preferences. In the Finder window, General, you can select Open Folders and Tabs instead of New Windows. So when I open up a Finder window, it's actually going to open up in a tab. And let me do this. Let me show you a new Finder window. Let me show you a new Finder window. There we go. So if I want to see another tab, if I select a new Finder window, it's actually just going to create a tab, like here. So that's one setting, that's the Finder preferences. And for apps, I have to go back to Systems Preferences. Bring this window back open. Okay, where am I? Okay, hold on, I can't remember where that setting is. Not there. Okay, where did I hide you? Okay, I'm sorry, I can't remember. No, remind me later. I can't remember where that setting is. It's here. If anybody can remember, yell out where this setting is. Prefer to open documents in Windows. General. Ask. All right, I'll have to remember where it is, but it's in Systems Preferences. I thought I had it written down, and right now I can't remember a thing other than.
Chita, is it in Docs?
It's a setting
It's
for
in Finder preferences.
No, there are 2. I went to the one for Finder preferences that says open folders and tabs instead of new windows. I selected that one. This one is for the apps, and it is here in preferences. And let's see if I can type that in. Prefer tabs. Prefer tabs. No, it's not going to. I'll remember it. It just probably won't happen right now. I thought it was in General. Okay.
Sheeta, can I ask one question?
Sure, go ahead.
You're using 2 monitors, correct?
I am.
And every time you click on an application, it usually opens in your other monitor, and then you're bringing it across to the monitor you want to show it on so we could see it.
Yes.
Is there any way you can specify that every time you click on an application that it will open in the other window, in the other monitor?
No.
Okay.
No. Okay. All right. Can you mute your mic for that sound that's happening? Thank you. Okay, for apps, Systems Preferences. All right, I'll find out where the setting is before I end today. But all right, so let's say now I'm in a document. I'm going to hide you, pull you back over. So I'm in a document. Let's close you, admit you, and because I have my document set to open in tabs, every time I open up a new document, it's going to open up in tabs. So you'll just see it populate. I can reorder these tabs if I need to. I can click on them in any order and they just show up in tabs, but they are covering over each one. And so the question was, how do you get them from covering over each other? So you can just pull this one out. If I hold my mouse button down and pull it out, it becomes its own separate window. And when I let go, and now it's its own separate window. So this is one way to not have tabs overlap. But the idea for tabs is to just keep it from cluttering up your screen. Now, if you do have tabs set up and you want to open up a new document, but you don't want it to open up in tabs, if you hold down, I believe it's Option Command, and let's say I click on a recent one, it opens up in a new window. So Option Command is the keyboard shortcut to have things open up in windows instead of tabs. And I want to show you that with the Finder window. I'm going to go for new Finder window. Now my Finder is set to open in tabs, so it's going to open up in tabs on the other window on my computer, but I want it to open up here. So I'm going to select Option, Command, new Finder window, and I get a new Finder window. And if I just choose new Finder window, I should get a tab. But if I hold down Option Command for a new Finder window, it'll open it up in Windows. So that's how you can work with tabs and windows no matter what setting you have enabled. But again, tabs were a way to help you keep down the clutter on your screen. So hopefully that helps you and gives you a little idea of how useful tabs can be. All right.
May I add to that question? It was my
Yes,
question.
yes, you may.
Thank you. This is Mary.
Mhm.
If I have two documents open and I'm working on one and I start working on one, it superimposes over the other and it doesn't allow me to continue to see the two documents. As soon as I click on one of the documents, it goes full screen with that document.
Full screen?
Well, I'm pretty sure it's full screen. It overlaps the other documents, so I cannot continue looking at the two documents at the same time. And that's what I'm trying to do. I'm usually using one document to work on the other. And if I start working on the one, it covers up the first document and I can't reference it.
Are you in full screen, Mary? Are you actually in the setting full screen on your computer?
Usually what I've done is shared screen, and I've got two documents open in a shared screen way.
So is it a split screen? Someone's phone is sounding off. Could you please mute your microphone? Okay, got it. I know who you are. Okay. I probably might need to see, Mary, what you're talking about, because it sounds like your computer screen is actually in full screen mode, and that's why it's covering up the other one. So let me check with you, and then I'll bring the solution back to the Q&A, okay?
Okay, thanks a lot.
You're quite welcome. Okay.
Chita,
Yes.
I knew you knew who I was. I'm sorry.
That's all right.
Look in System Preferences doc. And it says prefer tabs when opening documents. You can check always. Full screen only.
Duh. Mary, Betty, thank you so much. Yes,
you're welcome.
Yeah, if it was a snake, it would have bit me. All right, so here, prefer tabs when opening documents. I always have this, set at always. So this is the other option for having your documents open in tabs. So you have two places. You have your Finder preferences and you have your systems preferences. So Finder for the Finder, systems preferences for the documents. So I have these two set so that I always have my documents open in tabs.
Chita, may I
Yes.
just chip in here also?
Yes.
believe we have a little bit of a problem because of the difference between our operating systems. I think I'm using Big Sur now, and here you find the preferred tab option in general, no longer in doc. So that has changed from Catalina. I just wanted to know.
All right. Thank you so much, Eckert. Appreciate that.
But it is in general and under Big Sur where you were looking for it.
Okay. Yeah, you know, I would just assume it would be in general. So yeah, thank you. Okay, so there you have it for those of you who want to use this feature. Hopefully you will find it useful. I certainly do, you know, when I'm working with documents and with Finder windows. Okay, so let's move on to our next question.
Chita, may I ask a related question?
Yes.
Can I do the same with text edit windows? Can I group them in tabs instead of individually?
Yes, that's exactly what I was showing with here with text edit. I'm going to open up like here. This is, you know, one file. Then I'm opening up another file. And you see that they're all populating within the tabs. And to select one, I just click on the tabs. Work, see, Don? Don?
I see. Yeah, I have a bunch of windows now, so I should close them and then look at that setting and then reopen them, and they would be in tabs. Thank you.
Yes, you're welcome. Okay. All right, my next question is, and I put this in there because there is some really good information, and I saw that you also put this link in the groups forum, George. So I hope people have seen it there as well. The question is, I am new to numbers and want the user manual. I'm not able to download the manual from the Apple books onto my MacBook Pro, which was purchased in 2020. Sophia, are you here? Sophia is not here. All right, so this was Sophia's question, and I wanted to find out if this was maybe something going on with her operating system and the setup. But regardless, I thought that this was an excellent, this was an excellent resource. And actually, let me go to this page. All right, stop. And where are you? Pages. User manual. Okay, give me 1 second. I'm bringing that up. And okay. I have things covering things. Okay, cool. All right, so this is the Pages user guide. And if you're not necessarily interested in the Pages user guide, you can scroll down, and I've put the, I'll put the link to this in the chat. But if you're not necessarily interested in the numbers user guides, you can also go to the other user guides. So here's numbers, and here's some of the others that are available to you. And some of these are updated 2001, some go back. They're useful to you depending on the operating system and the app that you're working with. But there is some really great information here for you to peruse, study, help you learn your apps. So if not to answer Sophia's question, I thought this was a great location for you to get information that you can use and read. And you click on it, it downloads to the Apple Books app, and you have your information that you can go through. So hopefully you'll find that useful to you. So, and hopefully we'll find out what's going on with Sophia's computer. So let's hide that and get back to Keynote. My next question. How do I get answers from Siri in audio on my iPhone 7 Plus? I believe I used to get verbal. This stopped. Barbara, hi, are you here?
Yes, I am.
Have you got a resolution for this?
No, I went on the instructions online and I followed them one by one and nothing happened.
So were the all right, so were the instructions the same as what you see here? Barbara?
Yeah, I'm looking. I don't think so. I think it was a series of steps, but I don't think it was through accessibility.
Okay, try this. There's so many settings on our iPhones now. There could be any number of reasons. Like while I was researching this, I saw things like, maybe your ringer volume is down or, one thing after the other. But this was a particular one that struck me as it might be what's going on.
Okay.
So give it a try and let me know what the result is, okay?
Thank you.
You're quite welcome, Barbara. Okay, I'm looking in the chat. I have a new Mac and videos display very dark. Okay. Bill, are you here? Can you unmute yourself?
Yes,
All
I
right.
am.
So what's going on with your Mac?
Well, since I've only had it probably a couple months, but the videos are dark, like your video with the flower or your desktop shows very, very dark at the bottom and the white flowers. I don't know if that's exactly how it is, but when I watch a video, they're darker than they should be.
So are you saying that what you're seeing on my screen, showing up on my screen, is very dark at the bottom?
Well, yes, it's dark across the bottom. I mean, I see the flower and I see the background, and maybe that's all you have highlighted.
Okay, that definitely sounds like there's something amiss with your monitor, with your screen. So if you just got it, I would contact Apple to see what's going on. But from what you're saying, that's definitely an issue with the computer itself.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
You're quite welcome. All right, I'm going to continue on here. And this question came up, and I thought it was a good refresher. This isn't a question that anybody can answer for you. It's a question only you can answer because it depends on your software, your equipment, your backup strategy, and hold on to that thought. If you've done your research and you find that there are no issues with your apps, with your equipment, and you have all of your serial numbers and everything that you need, if you feel that you don't have a problem and you can update to Big Sur, go right ahead. I updated to Big Sur on a external boot up drive, and I can't use something as simple as my mouse. So I can't update to Big Sur yet, and I'm sure there's still other equipment that Big Sur would not allow me to use. Some of you don't have any problem. That's fine. But we all do different things. Some of us similar, but what I do is different than what anybody else might do. So I can't update to Big Sur, or I won't update to Big Sur, because then I have to find out what's going on. I may have to buy new equipment. So that's not a question that you can just throw out and say, hey, can you tell me if this is okay? It's entirely up to you. All right. So I just wanted to throw that out there. Do your homework, do your research. And just to throw something in there, for those of us who need bootable backups, Super Duper has now released a beta version where it will now work and make a bootable backup of an M1. The developer said that that is totally through Apple, that Apple has now opened that up so that he was able to do that. And I'm sure others will be able to do that as well. So that has changed my backup strategy, whereas now I could consider Big Sur more. But until all of my equipment works with Big Sur, I can't go there. I can only test it on my external drive. So what will be a benefit of upgrading to Big Sur? You know, those with Big Sur, you want to chime in for like a minute and say what are some of the benefits? Some people have said that it's just a change in look. I'm sure as the operating system develops and goes on, there are going to be some really great things that are coming down the pike, and we're in a transition period. So we have to take it as we take it. Same referred Catalina. I don't know what that means, Victoria. But make sure you do research. If you haven't upgraded already, there is usually a reason. So do your research, find out if everything will work, and then you can decide if you can upgrade or not. All right, I'm going to move on.
Ms. Hunter.
Yes.
Hi.
Hi.
So this is Sharon Burrell. I have Big Sur on my MacBook Air that I purchased a couple months ago. And so far, I haven't noted, other than being faster and quieter than my other computers, I haven't really noticed that much of a change. But this is not my workhorse computer. Okay, so my iMac and my MacBook Pro, which are currently running Mojave, are my workhorses. So until this one becomes my workhorse, or if the other ones fail, God forbid, you know, I'm not going to upgrade that's my way of saying I'm not going to upgrade my other computers to Big Sur right now.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm only running Big Sur on the one that came with it. So.
Okay. All right. And again, see, you're doing your research and you're finding what works for you. And, you know, like I said, everyone has to find out what works for them. Right now, Big Sur does not work for me. And I'm not going to fix what isn't broken right now. So, all right. Thank you, Sharon. All right, let's continue on. I think I have one or two more questions. Okay. Why does my copy paste function, perhaps especially between two emails, not work all the time? And this could be just a functionality of what's underlying functionality that's going on. And sometimes there's no rhyme or reason. Because sometimes when I'm copying things and I've selected it, copied it, and go to the next app to paste it, sometimes it doesn't paste. Or sometimes it'll paste something that I don't want. So it's not necessarily that something is wrong. It's just that depending on what's happening with the computer, it just may not be working at that time. So there's no magical answer to that, Barbara. So hopefully that helps you.
Thanks, I appreciate it. And the other thing is now working, so that's great.
Excellent, excellent. Glad to hear it. Glad to hear it. Okay, let's see. All right, that was it for my presentation. Next week, we're having Carrie Rigo. But before we sign off, does anyone have any question that they'd like to throw out there? Can you show how to get the training books? I put that link right underneath your question, Kenneth. And the team indicated they are compatible with CERT. Some of Apple's pages, numbers, updates indicate that they are compatible with Big Sur. Does that mean that I must upgrade to Big Sur before I can update my Catalina apps? When you say Catalina apps, are you still talking about pages and
Yes.
Robert? Yeah, okay. You can still update those apps as long as your operating system says you can. So like with the latest updates, the pages and numbers and Keynote, I'm on Catalina. It lets me know that I can update those. So I go ahead and update them. You should not have to update to Big Sur just to get certain updates.
Thank you.
You're quite welcome. George Brooks, you have a question.
Thank you. Quick question. When you know how you have Do Not Disturb, if you turn that on your iPhone and it turns off essentially everything, is there a way to essentially turn off receiving phone calls but get pop-up notifications for your calendar?
I don't know. There might be, but right now, this second, I couldn't tell you.
No problem. It's just something that came up to me, and I was like, I just thought I'd throw it out there since you have open times.
Okay.
So.
All right. Appreciate the
By
question.
way, sure, no problem. Thank you.
You're welcome, George. Mike Kwasniak, you have a question.
Chita, actually not for me, Frank Sturgevich, and he'd already posted this question on the message board and got no useful replies. Appears to have lost the main menu bar in Finder. So I did a quick Google on that, and I just wanted I want to see if you agree that it sounds like he needs to seek some professional advice. Googling it suggests some sort of corrupt preferences issue.
You have completely lost the menu bar. Are you in full screen mode, Frank?
Well, actually, it's my neighbor's computer. I'm trying to help her with it, and the menu bar just does not appear on any of the apps or on the main screen. So it just is not there.
Okay, find out, take a look and see if they're in full screen mode. In full screen mode, the menus can disappear. That's why I don't like full screen mode.
And how would you know that?
Take the mouse cursor and drag it all the way to the top of the screen. And actually then the menu bar may or should drop down.
Okay, I'll try that. Thank you.
You're welcome. And if not, send me an email and we'll see what we can do, or put it on the group's IO chat and we'll see what we can do.
What about if he hits the escape button? Should that bring it down?
That may work as well.
I tried that. That did not.
Okay, so no, that won't work, George. Okay, but try taking your mouse cursor all the way up to the top and seeing if that menu bar does drop down.
What about adjusting in screen in the desktop screen or someplace, one of the ratios or whatever? Could that be a problem?
No, not for the menu disappearing like that. I see what you're like talking, like the scale of the screen. If you scaled it, that would be like in.
We had that problem at the library. We used
Mm-hmm.
to have that problem at the library. We couldn't see the menu bar.
I would make the suggestion of restarting and see if it comes up. And then if not, restarting again in safe mode, which would ask you to hold the shift key down while you start.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you, Frank. Okay. With that, the menu disappears when you hit green button and reappears when you move mouse over the top left or that is correct, Victoria. I
just did that.
Right. They still need to know how to get to that green button, and that menu bar has to drop down first in order for them to do that. So they, like I said, take your mouse and see if you can drag it to the top of the screen and see if that menu bar comes down. Right.
And that's exactly what I just did with your presentation. I did a green, took over the whole screen, got rid of the menu bar. Then I took my mouse up there, hit the green again, and the menu bar was there and it dropped down.
Yes. Great. Thank you, Victoria. Appreciate it. All right. Thank you. Betty, you're welcome. Wayne, you're welcome. Robert, you're welcome. Thank you all. I hope you enjoyed today's presentation. Check me out on YouTube and please subscribe and like, and you're welcome, Mike. And thank you, everyone. George, it is all yours.
Thank you, Chita.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, I just wanted this, some of these questions reminded me on the message board. If somebody makes a suggestion, and it works, let us know, and if it doesn't work, also let us know, so we keep that discussion open. But it's also as critical to let us know, so if any of these suggestions work, I think it's Frank, right? That had that question on the menu bar.
Yep.
Yeah, start in safe, start in safe mode to see what's going on. All right.
Yeah, let us know if any of that works.
All right. You're welcome, Rick. Thank you very much.
I
Thank
guess
you, Barbara, Ellen. Go ahead,
yeah,
I'm sorry.
everybody can unmute and thank Chita. Thank you very much. It was a great meeting, and have a great week, everybody.
Thanks. You're welcome. Thank you.
That was great.
Thank you. Thank you. Very good. Appreciate
You're
it.
welcome. You're welcome.
George,
Thank you.
thanks for joining and thanks for coming.
All right.
Oh, sure. No problem.
All right. Send me
Great
your questions.
presentation.
You're welcome, George. Thank you for coming. Send me
What
your
about-
questions. Well, go ahead.
What about Bob from Tucson? Is he here?
He's here.
I am here.
Bob?
Thank you
Okay.
for inviting me. I kind of I feel like I showed up an hour late. What time is it in Florida?
You did, Bob.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's right. We're on Arizona time. It's 3 hours, not 2 hours different. Sorry, I missed the first hour. Thank you for inviting me, and I hope to see you again. Won't be next week, but if you are interested, you can join our meetings or see the YouTube movies of our meetings, and you can get there from our website, tmug.com.
Okay, and don't forget, Bob, that the invitation was for the month of May. So if you have any members, if you could follow up on what Eckert suggested, just let us know who they are.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right.
All
Thank
right,
you,
everybody.
everyone.
Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye. Have a good day.